Hey there, it's very early here in South Carolina this morning, and I am going to do a garden tour update. So I'm just gonna take you around and show you everything that has been growing. It's been just about 2 weeks since I did the last one, so let's see what is going on. So before I start showing you around this garden, I wanna talk about something that's a little bit difficult for me, but I really wanna do it. So I've got this shirt on that is a unicorn, and this was a gift from my beautiful sister Kristyn, who passed away about 2.5 years ago. And the hardest part of this homesteading journey for me is that I wish I could share it with my sister. She was a homesteader before we were. I was still a city girl, and I know that she would laugh at a lot of the things I have going on, or that we have going on, and I just wish that we could kind of talk about things together. But this shirt, my sister was the best gift giver ever, and I loved unicorns as a kid, so she gave me this shirt as one of the gifts that she gave me. So I do want to say that we lost my sister very unexpectedly. She was just driving home, and just something went wrong with her health, and whew, it's tough because it was so sudden. But I'm about to talk about tomatillos, and I needed to talk to you about my sister before I talk about these tomatillos, because the reason I planted these tomatillos was for her and to honor her. So I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about here. So these are the tomatillos that I planted. If you saw the video that I did where I talked about the heirloom varieties I was planting, this is something I was really excited about. My sister, when she came to visit us in Charleston, this was the last time that I spent a really long time with her. She was in Wisconsin and we were in Charleston, but she came and she made us homemade green chicken chili, and the recipe's on my blog, and it's just so delicious. And I really wanted to grow these tomatillos so that I could make my own homemade green salsa, so that I could make that chili. So I said green chicken chili in the video, but it's actually a white chicken chili. I'm very excited because I've got lots of flowers, but see, I've got a little tomatillo right there. So that is really, really exciting. That is one of the heirloom varieties that I was very looking for, that I was super excited to grow, and it worked out, and super excited about it. As my sister was a homesteader before we were, she loved her chickens, she hated her goats. I just wish I could talk about all of this with her. She was just an absolutely beautiful person with a beautiful heart, and I really miss her. I planted 3 tomatillo plants. Hey, Smokey. How you doing, sweet boy? And all 3 of them are doing fantastic. Well, in this bed, I planted 3. And then we've got lots of awesome tomato action. I told you that when I planted my tomatoes last year, I planted them in containers. They didn't do so well. They did not even get close to as tall as these are. So the success we're having with these tomatoes is just fantastic so far. I've got fruit everywhere. Let's see if I can show you. So this is another heirloom variety. This is Brad's Atomic Grape Tomato, and I just think it's so pretty. So I've got some there, I've got some growing over here, and I've got another one coming here. And then on the other side, I can't remember exactly well, I planted some black strawberries, so I know those are coming in somewhere. And then, hey Smokey. So Onyx wanted to be all up in the video last time, and today we've got Smokey. So here's another one. I think that is a different variety right there. That might be my black strawberry. And then here, I don't know what is going on. Maybe you all can give me some insight. Drop it in the comments if you know. I don't know why this one is struggling so bad and the others look so good. Not really sure what's going on there. All right, so we're gonna walk over to the next bed and we'll check on the peppers. And they are looking really good too. This is so fun. For me being just a second year gardener, I really am loving how everything's looking this year. Here, we can get jalapeno business because we've got jalapenos. Super exciting. Another one coming there. And then over here, and just tons of fruit on the top. Here I planted shishitos. So I don't have any flowers yet on these. So I don't know if this is a variety that is a little bit slower growing. So if you know if this is a slower growing variety, let me know and be like, all right, Lisa, like just chill. They're gonna come. And then here, I've got some just bell peppers. Looking forward to the peppers. My son CJ really loved, when we lived over by Publix, he loved this jalapeno pepper dip. So I'm looking forward to making that for him from scratch. We'll check in on my flowers. Remember, I planted marigolds and zinnias and kind of alternated. They're coming in nicely. And then this is a dahlia that I got from my friend Jess, and it is coming in nicely as well. I tried to plant some dahlia tubers last year myself, and they did not work out very well, so I'm sure that this one will do much better. And also last year I had so many more pollinators in my garden because that entire row that I just showed you of flowers was full of sunflowers and zinnia. And if you've watched some of my previous videos, you know that I've got an anaphylactic sunflower allergy, which I didn't know I had when I planted the sunflowers. And so I had to cut them all down because my throat would get kind of itchy when I came out here and I didn't know why. So they had to go. What we did, I'll show you because it was really nice, but we made these cute little gifts for all of the teachers and all of the office workers at my son's school, and they really loved those. So that was a good use of the flowers, and they still were able to brighten someone's day, even if it wasn't mine. The teachers and staff that we gave these flowers to absolutely loved them. And so I know I can't plant sunflowers in my garden. In fact, when Jesse and Chasity from Willowbrook Homestead were over here, I had a rogue sunflower volunteer. And I was like, oh, the sunflower, we got to get it. And so they're like, no, we're going to save the sunflower. And so they took the sunflower home. And if you check out their videos, I'll put a link to their channel below. You can see this sunflower because it is like flourishing over there. It is so super tall. It's taller than both of their kids. It's probably even taller than Chasity at this point. So I'm glad that they were able to rescue the sunflower. Then I got this the other day, just because I wanted some more pollinators. I saw this African basil at Grassroots, which is in Aiken County. It's in Graniteville. It's a really, really cool nursery lawn store. We get mulch there, but this is a beautiful basil. So I'm hoping that there were bees all over it there. So I'm hoping it brings some more pollinators here. Here I've got some okra. This is the first time I've planted okra. And then over here I planted my zucchini and my yellow squash. And then we've got over here, I've done some Kajari melons, and they're looking really good. And some watermelon. CJ, my son CJ loves watermelon, so lots of watermelon. And then over here, our pumpkin patch is coming in quite nicely. And I've got all of these flowers, and these are male. You know that because you can see the stamen there. And so I've got some really delicious plans with these flowers because they are edible. Our friends Stan and Dina, who are local to us, have an absolute amazing garden. They've been gardening for a long time, and they gave us some sweet potato slips. So over here, I believe I've got the purple sweet potatoes over here. And then we've got more pumpkin. And then over here, we've got Beauregard sweet potatoes planted. Now here, okay, I'm not gonna cry this time. I'm gonna show you some more tomatillos. From my friend Josefina over at I Dream of Homestead. She does a lot of really great Mexican cuisine videos. I am going to pop her channel below as well so you can check it out. She gave me some of her tomatillos, and so here we've got it coming in here. We've got tomatillos, and then this one's really unique because these are actually purple tomatillos. And I saw, you can kind of see, if you look under that flower, you can see the purple coming. I thought I saw a better one earlier when I was out here looking. But you can really see, you can see the purple. He's smoky. So that's exciting. And then I've got several different tomatoes here. My friend Cass at Say Mojo Homestead gave me some of these tomatoes. She gave me a Dr. Witchy's and a champagne tomato. So these are looking good. And then Josefina, if you remember my last video, I talked about how she had given me some peppers, and I believe what I've got here is guajillo and hatch and poblano. So they're all looking good. They haven't come in yet. What's really awesome about this is we've just established this great homestead community here in South Carolina, and a couple from even some other places, but it's like in my garden, I can walk around and there's things that people have shared with us, and we've given away some stuff too. So this is kind of like the garden that the local homestead community has built. Because my friend Farrah at Raising the Rutherfords gave me these ground cherries because mine did not germinate. I'll pop her channel below too. So these are ground cherries. And then these are our potatoes that we planted. And they're coming in nicely. The corn is looking great, getting nice and tall. And we've got silk, which means we've got corn there. And now we're gonna walk over to another tomato bed. I really planted a lot of tomatoes. This entire bed is all Paul Robeson, and they're just looking awesome. I did a good job with these, I think. And see, you can see them coming in. I caged these. So these all are caged. And I really like these red cages. I got these at Aldi. So they're looking really good. And then now I'm going to show you an example of something that I did not cage all of these, and they're going crazy. Charlie and I staked a couple of them last night, so they look a little bit better, but this is unruly over here. But these are all, I've got Roma and San Marzano kind of all mixed in here. And I do have fruit growing over here. Here's my beautiful edamame. Looking good. I've already harvested some of that. There's one of my tomatoes coming in there. But everything's looking really, really good. So, get out of the sun here. So it's amazing to me how much better this garden looks than last year when we were just growing in containers. We've got a lot more in the ground, as you've seen. We've got a lot in raised beds. But the thing that's different this year about these raised beds is that we took the time to really build our compost. If you saw our video, we used rabbit manure, we used some goat manure, and we just let it hang out. We've got horse manure, so we kind of had this like beautiful mix to make our own soil, and we tested it. We tested it at home with a home testing kit to make sure that the levels were good, and it was great, and it sure is, because I mean, everything is just looking really, really good and flourishing. And so now I'm gonna walk you over and I am going to show you the peach tree, because the peaches have definitely gotten bigger too. That frost, I feel, that late frost we had here in South Carolina, I definitely feel stunted the peaches a little bit, but we still have a lot of fruit coming in. And some of them are starting, see that one right there? Starting to turn orange. So we definitely have, we're gonna be able to eat some peaches. We'll see. We've had to knock a couple off because some critters got to them, and we're not really using any kind of pest control on them. We didn't last year either, and it was fine. We had plenty of fruit. We just kind of we were like, okay, so nature's gonna take some of them. That just happens sometimes. So now I'm gonna walk you over and I'm gonna show you all of the blackberries that we have coming in. Lots and lots of blackberries. So remember, we talked last time and I showed you this whole thing is blackberries. It's just crazy. It's getting nice and full of blackberries. I was not kidding when I said if you're local to us and you'd like to come pick some blackberries, come on over and pick some blackberries. Because we have plenty to share. Tons and tons of them, and there's even more on the other side. Just really lush with blackberries. Like I said, this whole thing is blackberries. And so we are happy to share with any of our local friends who want to make the trek over here. Check in on our lime tree here. You can see the limes, they're just not getting too much bigger. So I'm not exactly sure what I need to do in order, maybe I need to use some organic fertilizer to get them to come in better. All right, so now I'm out over at the other side of my house on my deck, and I'm going to show you what we've got going on in the green stalk. If you remembered one of the green stalks, I did an entire video where I planted edible flowers, so I'm going to show you how that is going. So the pansies are coming in really, really well. I've got lots of pansies. And then over here I planted celery, and it's looking really great as well. And I'll tell you that if you've never had fresh celery that you've grown yourself, it tastes so much better than what you can get at the store. It's ridiculous, the difference. More pansies over here. My agastache and my borage hasn't flowered yet. There's another pansy. And then I planted some peppers in the green stalk as well. And little baby peppers. Don't remember what kind of peppers I planted. This green stalk, I had some things bolt. It has been insanely hot here in South Carolina. Sorry, that glare. Insanely hot here in South Carolina. It's like today it's gonna get up to 94. Tomorrow it's gonna be 95. So it's been crazy hot. So I'm just hoping everything survives. But I've got some more lettuce coming in here. And then strawberries are coming in. This is my olive tree. I can't even wait for that. And then I've got a baby lemon. See the lemon? I amended this herb garden bed yesterday. And so I've got some basil growing here. And then I've got rosemary, parsley. If anybody knows what's going on with my parsley and why it's got like all these little white spots on it, please let me know in the comments. And then down here I've got some lemon balm. We've just walked around a lot of this property today, so I'm going to show you something else that I'm really excited about, really proud of, and this is just one of those things that if you've been gardening for a while, I guess it's really hard to grow lavender from seed, and so I've got to show you because I'm really proud that I was able to do it. And so this is the lavender that I grew from seed. And it has bloomed and it's just so, so pretty. So that was a big accomplishment for me as a beginning gardener. And here's something else I want to show you. If you saw my video on edible flowers and foraging for wild greens and things that you can eat, this is another one that you might know. So a lot of lilies are toxic. Most lilies are toxic, but the daylily is an edible flower. So I'm back up on my porch in this rocking chair, and I have to say that I want to get to a point where I'm able to talk more about my beautiful sister Kristyn without getting so emotional that I can't talk. I know I'm always going to shed some tears, but I want to be able to share more about my sister and not just get so choked up I can't talk. So I just want to be able to honor her and the beautiful person that she was. And so like I said, the hardest part of this homestead journey for me, and when I sometimes get just like so overwhelmed with the beauty and the gratitude of it, I just think about how I just wish that I was able to just have a conversation with her about it. I know that she would love it too. She would love being able to talk to me about it. So I would love to hear how your garden is going this year. What do you have planted? What is popping up? What are you losing? Do you have any tips for me about what happened to my tomato? I don't even know. I really want to hear what's going on with you. And another thing that is very interesting to me is just the difference between container gardening and gardening in the ground and just finding those things that work. So I would love to hear those things as well. If you liked this garden tour video and you haven't seen my first one, maybe you want to take a peek at that one and you can just see how a garden just flourishes in 2 weeks. It's just absolutely amazing.